Lucas Van Ness is the newest member of the Green Bay Packers.
The former Iowa Hawkeye was drafted 13th overall by the Packers last night in round 1 of the NFL draft.
To tell us more about the defensive lineman, Iowa Hawkeye insider for 24/7 Sports and CBS Sports, David Eickholt. Thanks for joining us today, David. Hey, you've seen Van Ness up close in Iowa City. What can Packers fans expect him to bring to the table?
Yeah, I appreciate you guys having me. But, I mean, they call him Hercules for a reason. I mean, this is a guy who was a 220-pound prospect going into Iowa. Now is up to about 273 pounds, ran a 4.58 in the 40-yard dash. And he basically rocks an 8-pack. I don't think a 6-pack would do him enough justice. So with 34-inch arms, I think his best football is ahead of him. So I really think that with the defensive system that the Packers run, I think he's a perfect fit for the outside linebacker role, or he can just bull rush the opponent. So I really think this is a good addition, especially with Rashawn Gary being a free agent next season.
All right, and David, what about in the locker room and practice facilities? What can you tell us about Lucas Van Ness, the person?
Yeah, great guy. I mean, this is a guy that's very well respected around the program for his work ethic, and he just has a rare sense of maturity that, most 21, 22-year-olds don't have. I think he's going to really blend in well with the Green Bay community, with Wisconsin. I think this is a guy who's going to come in willing to learn, and he's really not going to be a disruptor in any of the meetings rooms. I think he really strikes me, has always struck me, as a big-time leader. I think he's going to respect the guys already in the locker room. I think he's going to take a couple of years to really learn under them, and then I think he's going to fly. I mean, I think this is a great value pick for the Packers, and again, I think in a year or two, I think he's really going to start turning some heads with what he's able to do.
Yeah, you can see from that gathering in Walworth County, lots of family, friends supporting him. Something unique about Van Ness, or Hercules. He wasn't a starter. He didn't start at Iowa, and yet here he is, a top 15 pick in the NFL draft. Why was he coming off the bench, and how did he end up becoming a first-round pick for the Pack?
It's crazy. You think back a couple of years ago, A.J. Epinesa didn't start a game for his first couple of seasons at Iowa, started one season, then was drafted by the Buffalo Bills. But despite not starting, he did play the second most snaps among Iowa defensive linemen. There were 3 guys who were fifth-year seniors ahead of him. And Van Ness, again, I think he was, I don't want to say a specialist, but he was much more used in the bull rush aspect in the passing game than being a run stopper. And I think that's where he's going to really have to grow at the next level. But this is a guy who put Peter Skronsky down with one hand and then hit the quarterback. So this is a guy, again, with a very high ceiling, a variety of moves, incredibly athletic, very strong. But it's the way Kirk Ferentz runs his ship. I think, again, a lot of senior players, and he's going to respect those guys that are ahead of him. And it was just a very much a hockey brigade type system. About 8-9 guys were playing. So don't look at Van Ness not starting as being a red flag. I think it's just the way that Iowa plays.
All right. Thank you so much. Iowa Hawkeye insider for 24/7 Sports, David Eickholt, joining us today with some insight on the newest Green Bay Packer, Lucas Van Ness. Thank you so much, David, for your time.
Hey, thanks, guys. Have a good week.
All right, Dave.